When I talk about the interior of the earth, जब हम अर्थ की बात करते हैं, we know that earth is what? Oblate spheroid, orange type है, यहाँ से bulge है, pole से flattened है, ठीक है? So this is what we know as the shape of the earth. If I go into the interior of the earth, okay, I'm going inside. If I go into the interior of the earth is layered. Earth के अंदर एक rock नहीं है. It is not one rock. It has layers. Okay, 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4 layer. So we know that earth is like an oblate spheroid. Earth is like an oblate spheroid. आप अंदर जा रहे हो earth के, onion के जैसे, onion, and there are layers. So similarly, the earth also has layers like an onion has. Earth is not one single rock. Earth is not a monolith. एक rock नहीं. It has layers. What are the layers? क्या-क्या layers होती है interior of the earth पे? The layers can be crust, mantle या core. और देखो layers की अब आपको इतना पता पड़ा है earth के अंदर layers हैं. There are various geographers, those who have given the idea of the layers of the earth. Some geographers said that earth is Sial. Earth layers कौन सी है? Sial, सीमा and knife. This is one idea. किसी ने ये idea दिया कि अर्थ की लेयर्स कौन सी है? सियाल, सीमा और नाइफ. कुछ जोग्राफर्स आए, उन्होंने बोला नहीं नहीं, लेट्स नॉट कॉल इट सियाल, सीमा, नाइफ, लेट्स कॉल इट क्रस्ट, मैंटल एंड कोर. लेट्स कॉल इट क्रस्ट, मैंटल एंड कोर. कुछ ने बोला ठीक है, क्रस्ट, मैंटल, कोर ठीक है, हम और भी थोड़ी डीप स्टडी करते हैं. तो उन्होंने क्या बोला? द अर्थ इज लिथोस्फीयर, एस्थेनोस्फीयर, mesosphere and barysphere. ठीक है, तो ये जो सियाल, सीमा, नाइफ है, या क्रस्ट, मैंटल, कोर है, या लिथोस्फीयर, एस्थेनोस्फीयर, मेसोस्फीयर, बैरिस्फीयर है, ये आइडिया है लोगों की अबाउट द इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ. ठीक है, लेट मी सिंप्लीफाई दिस बाय गिविंग एन एग्जांपल. दिस इज माय हैंड, दिस स्किन. ठीक है, अब मैं स्किन को कैसे पढ़ सकती हूँ? फर्स्ट लेयर, सेकेंड लेयर, थर्ड लेयर. किसी और डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट ने स्टडी किया, बोले ठीक है फर्स्ट लेयर, सेकेंड लेयर, थर्ड लेयर छोड़ दो, आई विल गिव नेम एज एक्स, वाई एंड जेड. किसी ने बोला नो, लेट्स कीप इट एज H1, H2, H3 एंड H4. तो आप जब सियाल, सीमा, नाइफ पढ़ते हो, दैट इज एन आइडिया अबाउट द इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ गिवन बाय एडवर्ड सुएस. आप जब इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ, क्रस्ट, मैंटल, कोर पढ़ते हो, दिस इज एन आइडिया गिवन बाय सम पर्सन. If you study lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere, barysphere, it is an idea about the interior of the earth given by some person. Nobody has actually gone into the entire depth. कोई भी नीचे तक नहीं जा पाए हैं. Because entire depth कितनी है? If I go here, the entire radius is 6,400 kilometers. Somewhere around 6,400 kilometers. Somewhere around 6,371 kilometers to be specific. हम क्यों नहीं गए अंदर तक? Because it is very very hot. We've just gone, we've just drilled. हमने जो ड्रिलिंग भी की है ना, the drilling is just about 14 kilometers. उसके बाद मशीन्स भी काम नहीं करती. तो हमें एक्चुअली नहीं पता कि अंदर क्या है, बट हमने पढ़ाई करके आइडिया लगाई है what is in the interior of the earth. Clear? So let me first start off with this. We will first look at the PPT, then we'll read it from the handout also. So it is about one, what are the structures? What is the structure of the interior of the earth? You have inner core, you have outer core, you have mantle, you have the crust. जिसको आप crust, mantle और core कहते हो, ये उसका figure है. ठीक है? So now, earth is not a monolith. Earth monolith नहीं है. एक single rock नहीं. Earth की जो earth has what? Earth has layered interior. It's not a monolith. It has a layered interior. There is layering. ठीक है, and you are asking me this. ठीक है, what is nebular hypothesis? अच्छा, have you read about the formation of universe? Big Bang theory. Big Bang theory पता है? How many of you don't know Big Bang theory? बताओ. चलो ठीक है, let me explain. Basically, there is about how is universe formed, how is earth formed. तो universe कैसे बना है, इस पे बहुत सारी hypothesis हैं. ठीक है, एक hypothesis है Big Bang theory. The theory basically, it's a Big Bang theory. What does Big Bang theory says that जितना भी आप universe देखते हो, whatever you see in the universe, everything was concentrated in a single tiny ball. Whatever that we see today was concentrated in the single tiny ball. And this is what you called as singularity. This phenomenon is called as singularity. And for some reason not known, this single tiny ball exploded. It exploded. And इस event को हम क्या कहते हैं? इस event को हम कहते हैं Big Bang. This event is called as Big Bang. As it exploded, various things got scattered. Various things got scattered, and then you have what? This eventually led to formation of galaxies. जैसे हम लोग की Milky Way galaxy है, तो ऐसे galaxies बने. And now the expansion is still continuing. अभी भी ये expansion continue हो रहा है. This is your Big Bang theory and the formation of what? And the formation of galaxies and the formation of universe. ठीक है, ये एक आइडिया है कि यूनिवर्स कैसे बना है. यूनिवर्स समझ आ गया. In the universe you have galaxies. You have a Milky Way galaxy. In the galaxy you have various planets, various solar system, various stars. You have various stars. Stars है, one of the star based system is the solar system. Solar system में क्या है? One of the planet is Earth as a planet. ठीक है, तो ये यूनिवर्स की जो थ्योरी है, जब चीजें एक्सप्लोड हुई, when things exploded, what was the material? The material was gas. There were some gases, there were some metallic minerals, iron वगैरह है, you have some stones, you have some rocky substances. ठीक है, ये तो ऐसे पूरा जगह पे what is happening? You have the cloud. से cloud होता है, you have the cloud of gases, you have the cloud of dust particles, you have the cloud of stone particles. They now start coming together. ग्रेविटी होती है, ग्रेविटी में वो खुद की तरफ अट्रैक्ट होते हैं. So these start, this is in the galaxy I'm saying, there's a cloud of dust, there's a cloud of metallic, they are falling under their own weight, खुद के weight पे गिर रहे हैं. My question to you is, जब चीजें खुद के weight पे गिर रही हैं, what will fall first? क्या नीचे रहेगा और क्या ऊपर रहेगा? Will the dense material be at the top, or will the dense material will be inside? It will be inside. So what is happening? ये layers बन जाएंगी और dense material क्या रहेगा? It will be inside. तो अगर मैं interior of the earth देखूं, I'm studying interior of the earth, इसलिए मैंने ये समझाई. इसको nebular hypothesis कहते हैं. This thing जो हमने अभी बात की ना, this is called as nebular hypothesis. What is nebula? Nebular hypothesis से word है nebula. Nebula नहीं, वो cloud, the cloud of dust, the cloud of stony particles, the cloud of gases, that is your nebula. अगर आपको nebula को समझना है तो आप जुपिटर को याद रखो. जुपिटर पे हम लैंड नहीं कर सकते अगर हमें पढ़ना है तो. कोई भी सैटेलाइट फ्लाई बाय होती है, क्योंकि अभी तक वो रॉकी सब्सटेंस आया ही नहीं है. गैसेस है, डस्ट पार्टिकल्स है, रॉकी सब्सटेंसेस है. तो पहला नेब्यूला जो आज का जुपिटर है, इट वाज समवेयर लाइक दैट. नाउ तो नेब्यूला था, नेब्यूला में डेंस मटेरियल अंदर आते गए, लाइटर वन सेटल्ड आउटसाइड. दिस इज एन, इससे मुझे ये चीज पता पड़ती है, द अर्थ दैट वी सी टुडे, द अर्थ, the rocks that we have, the interior that we had is formed from the nebula. And therefore, what do we know? That the earth is layered. Earth is not one rock, earth is layered. That's what it is written. Earth is not one monolith, one single rock. Lith means rock, mono means one. Earth is not one rock. It has a layered interior. There are layers. This nebula hypothesis explains the idea of the layers. Nebula hypothesis is about the how is the interior formed or how is the earth formed. This layering, जो layering nature है earth का, we call this as what? We call this as density stratification. As you will go inside, this will be more dense, this will be less dense, this will be least dense. So we saw, no, the least dense thing would be outside and the more dense things would be inside. So this is also called as what? This is also called as density stratification. The innermost layer are more dense and the outermost layer are less dense. Why is the innermost layer, let's say core, why is it more dense? There are two reasons for it. One reason, इतना उस पे compression हुआ, there was a lot of pressure, so सबसे ज़्यादा pressure inner layer पे आया, so there's a lot of material that have been compressed, so compression. And the other reason is it is heavy, it was made up of heavy metals, तो heavy चीज नीचे गई और उस पे और compression हुआ, so that becomes furthermore dense. So the reason for increasing density, the density increases in the interior due to increasing pressure in the interior, due to compression, and also because of the composition. It is because of the composition and because of the compression that the inner layer became more dense. Okay? The overall density of the earth, if I say overall density is 5.5, it is more dense as compared to Jupiter. Jupiter अभी भी nebula stage में है, Saturn अभी भी nebula stage में है, तो उनकी density कम है, they have not yet been formed. ठीक है? So this to give you an idea. Now we will write as there is a need. पहले हम समझ लेते हैं. So what I'm saying is that the innermost layer is more dense. Innermost layer is more dense because under density आ रही है, material ऐसा है, as well as compression. So it is more dense, and the outermost layer is least dense. So as we go in the interior of the earth, what is happening? As you go in the interior of the earth, the density is increasing. What do we call this as? We call this as density stratification. Okay, so this is about the interior of the earth. Now, this is how you look at the earth. This is the outermost layer. You have mantle, you have outer core, and you have the inner core. The radius of the earth is 6,371 kilometers or 6,400 kilometers. So we cannot know what is the internal composition. We cannot go as much inside. You've just gone 14 to 15 kilometers. Then I said that various people have given the idea about the interior of the earth. One idea was सियाल, सीमा and knife. एक idea थी. किसी एक इंसान ने बोला अर्थ की लेयर्स कोई जाके अंदर देखा नहीं है, पर उन्होंने बोल दिया हमारे हिसाब से सियाल, सीमा और नाइफ है. So the initial pioneer was सियाल, सीमा and knife. Who gave this? It was given by Edward Suess. Why did he say that सियाल, सीमा, knife है? Because he said the first layer is made up of silica and aluminium. Therefore he says this is Cr. He says the second layer is made up of silica and magnesium. Therefore it is called as Sema. And the last layer, the innermost layer, is made up of nickel and iron. Therefore he says that it is knife. Okay? If I have to understand in a colloquial manner क्या है सियाल, क्या है सीमा, क्या है नाइफ, तो वो कहते हैं जो अर्थ की क्रस्ट है जिसपे आप खड़े हो, जो कॉन्टिनेंट्स हैं जिसपे हम खड़े रहते हैं, इट इज मेड अप ऑफ सियाल. इफ यू गो इनसाइड ऑन द ओशन के पानी के अंदर, ठीक है, 4 किलोमीटर अंदर रॉक होगा, दैट रॉक इज मेड अप ऑफ सीमा. That rock is made up of Sema. So the continental rock is Sial. The oceanic rock, the oceanic crust is called as Sema. And he says, इसके नीचे जो mantle है वो भी सीमा से बना है, और mantle के अंदर एक और layer है जो और dense है, जिसका composition अलग है, उसको वो क्या कहते हैं? Knife. That is nickel and iron. This was one of the most initial idea about the interior of the earth. This idea was rejected. Why was this idea rejected? This idea was rejected because continental rocks की जब पढ़ाई की गई तो देखा गया it is not just silica and aluminium. It also has, if you look at, it also has iron, it also has calcium, it also has magnesium. तो जब आप सिर्फ कॉन्टिनेंटल के रॉक्स को सियाल बोल देते हो तो आप बहुत सिंप्लीफाई कर रहे हो. कॉन्टिनेंटल क्रस्ट पे अगर हम पढ़े, कॉन्टिनेंट के रॉक्स को आप पढ़ोगे तो सिर्फ सिलिका नहीं होता है, उसमें आपका एल्यूमिनियम भी है, आयरन भी है, कैल्शियम भी है, सोडियम भी है, पोटेशियम भी है, मैग्नीशियम भी है. तो खाली सियाल मत बोलो, बाकी चीजें भी हैं. सो दे एक्चुअली दिस आइडिया वाज लेटर रिजेक्टेड. सियाल सीमा आइडिया वाज लेटर रिजेक्टेड. तो फिर क्या नई आइडिया आई? द न्यू आइडिया वाज दैट द अर्थ इज मेड अप ऑफ क्रस्ट, mantle एंड कोर. अब नई लेयर्स क्या कह रहे हैं? इनिशियल आइडिया वाज सियाल सीमा नाइफ. नेक्स्ट पर्सन ने बोला नहीं, इट इज नॉट जस्ट सियाल सीमा नाइफ, इट इज नॉट जस्ट सियाल सीमा नाइफ. इतना सिंपल नहीं है, इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? क्रस्ट, mantle एंड कोर बोलेंगे. इट इज क्रस्ट, mantle एंड कोर. ठीक है. एंड सम ऑफ फर्दर मोर स्टडीज, you said it is lithosphere, it is asthenosphere, it is mesosphere. I will make you write, don't worry. Mesosphere and barysphere. This idea has been rejected. Okay, this idea has been rejected. Now we accept this idea and we also accept this idea. कुछ scientists मानते हैं that the earth has crust, mantle and core, the interior layers, crust, mantle and core. Some scientists believe that it is lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere and barysphere. Clear? Now, दो अलग अलग चीज क्यों मान रहे हैं? क्योंकि ये दो अलग अलग तरीके से अर्थ को लेयर कर रहे हैं. Why difference? Just accept one. Because they have different purpose. They are utilizing different reasons. So I'll just give you my example of the skin again. I can layer I know that this is a skin. I know that there are 7 layers to it. I can layer them one on the basis of composition. The first layer is composed of, let's say, calcium, magnesium, silicon. The second layer is composed of, let's say, iron and nickel. The third layer is composed of, let's say, any other element. So composition ke basis pe. That is one way of classifying. The same skin, the same 7 layers, I can also have a different classification on the basis of elasticity. On the basis kitni solid hai, kya elastic hai ki nahi hai. इसके नीचे वाली लेयर सॉलिड है कि लिक्विड है, उसके नीचे वाली लेयर सॉलिड है, लिक्विड है, क्या है. तो मैं कॉम्पोजिशन की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ, मैं मैकेनिकल प्रॉपर्टीज की बात कर रही हूँ. मैकेनिकल प्रॉपर्टीज लाइक वेदर इट इज सॉलिड, लिक्विड. मैकेनिकल प्रॉपर्टीज लाइक वेदर इट इज रिजिड और वेदर इट इज फ्लेक्सिबल. ठीक है. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन इज बेस्ड ऑन कॉम्पोजिशन. किससे बना है, कौन से एलिमेंट से बना है. And this type of classification is based on mechanical properties. किससे बना है वो नहीं. What is it composed of? Not that. What are the properties? What are the mechanical properties? Whether it is solid, whether it is liquid, whether it is plasma state, whether it is flexible, whether it is rigid. Are we getting this? So this is for a different purpose. This is for a different purpose. We accept both of them today. We accept that the earth is made up of crust, mantle and core. And we also accept that the earth is, you can say it's crust, mantle or core. You can say it is lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere and barysphere. Can I move on? So now let's look at this. So this is Edward-Suess classification. What was Edward-Suess classification? First, it is one of the earliest interpretation. सबसे पहली सोच of the interior of the earth. This was given by Edward-Suess. He says that the layers are Sial, Sima and Knife. He says that Sial are referred to continents, Sima referred to the oceanic rocks and the mantle. And Knife became what? Knife became the present day core. So ये crust है, ये oceanic crust और mantle है, और ये क्या है? Core, जो आज का core है. The continental drift theory, one of the most interesting theory is continental drift theory. नाम से क्या लग रहा है? जो हमारे कॉन्टिनेंट्स हैं, दे आर ड्रिफ्टिंग, दे हैव मूव्ड. यानी आज जहां इंडिया दिख रहा है, इंडिया आज वहां, पहले शायद वहां नहीं था. वेयर यू सी नॉर्थ अमेरिका टुडे, नॉर्थ अमेरिका वाज नॉट वेयर इट वाज इन द पास्ट. वेयर आई सी साउथ अमेरिका टुडे, इट वाज देयर not in the past. Probably in the past it was somewhere else and it has drifted. So continental drift theory was a theory that was given. And what did they use? They used, how is continent moving? There's something that is moving. Sial is moving. They said it is not continent, it is Sial. And Sial is moving over what? Sial is moving over Sima. So it's like oceanic rock, continent rock. Oceanic crust is smaller, thinner. Continent is bigger. They said that the continent is moving over oceans. Continent is moving over. That is, this idea about the interior of the earth, which was given by Edward Suess, was used by one of the theory. एक theory ने इस idea को use किया, और सबसे बड़ा flaw ही यही था theory का. It's like if I understand that earth is not सियाल सीमा knife, ये मेरा basis है, सियाल सीमा knife सही नहीं है, आज मुझे पता पड़ रहा है, और मेरी theory इसके basis पे थी कि सियाल सीमा पे move कर रही है, तो पूरी theory गलत हो जाएगी, because वो interior of the earth ही सही नहीं समझा था. It's like जिस smile को आप समझ रहे थे कि मुझे देख के स्माइल की है, वो आपको देख के स्माइल नहीं की थी, वो आप पर हंस रही थी. ठीक है, it's like that. The basis, the assumption itself is wrong. Continental drift theory. So there was a theory that used this classification, and one of the biggest flaw was this, that Sial is floating over Seema. Later, this classification was rejected. The first interpretation that the earth is Sial Seema knife was rejected, and for the theory that was using this interior was also rejected. Okay. So this was Sial Seema knife. And now today we have the present understanding that the earth is, the contemporary idea is that, online class, the idea is that the contemporary scheme, chemical based layering on the basis of composition, or mechanical layering on the basis of relative strength and rigidity. So there are two ways, chemical based as well as mechanical based. Chemical based, we say it is crust, mantle and core. Mechanical based, we say it is lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere and barysphere. Are we getting this? This is the idea that we have to use. Now, what have we studied so far? एक बार consolidate करते हैं, फिर हम notes से पढ़ेंगे. हमने अब तक क्या किया? We understood few things. I am just revising. We understood that earth is not a monolith. Earth has what? Earth has various layers. The various layers are proved by one of the hypotheses, that is your nebular hypothesis. As the earth has layer, the inner layer are more dense, the outer layer are less dense. What do we call this as? We call this as density stratification. This is called as density stratification. We know that the earth is layered. What are the layers? Various people have given various interpretation. One of the interpretation was Sial, Seema and knife. Who gave this? Edward Suess. This was later rejected. What is the present understanding? I can layer my earth on the basis of chemical composition, or I can layer the earth on the basis of mechanical composition. Chemical composition किससे बना है? कौन से element से बना है? All of you understand element? Mendeleev table पढ़ा होगा 10th में. Helium, hydrogen, Liebig, Becknoff, Nerma, Gulsi, Circular error. ठीक है, तो हाइड्रोजन, हीलियम, सोडियम, लिथियम, बोरॉन, कार्बन, ये सब एलिमेंट्स है. किससे बना है? I can say that it is crust, mantle and core. That crust is different in composition from mantle. Mantle is different in composition from the core. Or I can also say that on the basis of mechanical property, lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere and barysphere. Lithosphere for that matter is solid. Okay, mechanical property dekh rahe, solid. Asthenosphere is jelly like. You've eaten jelly, custard jelly, or plastic like. Mesosphere is somewhat again more dense and has different composition. Barysphere is liquid. So it is different in composition. It is different in whether it is solid, whether it is plastic like, whether it is liquid. So I can say it is lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere and barysphere.